Okay, hi Nicole. So let me call you. Let's see if you're here on our. Ooh, Nicole. Hmm. Let's see. Hi. Hello, everybody. My friends, I think I have to come in and out again because our teacher is not finding able to come in here. So give me a second, I'm gonna get back. Okay, let's see if now we can um, do it again and get Nicole in here. No? Ah, there you are. I'm sorry, you got a little messed up in here. Can you see me? Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
It's very nice to see you too. Your beautiful soul, your radiant sun. I always say like, oh my gosh, I love her energy. I always keep you like, oh, look, just amazing. How are you, gorgeous? How have you been? Like your week, working out a lot.
It's been a beautiful week. This is my Friday. I've taught 3 yoga classes today.
Street classes today already?
Yeah, and it's been beautiful. The sun is shining up here in Napa Valley, and it's just been lovely. Looks like it's shining where you are too.
It is. It is. It's a little chilly though, but it's a beautiful sunshine. Yes. Yeah. I'm just trying to still get like to the new clock situation. So my mornings has been a little bit chaotic lately, but I'm gonna engage in the new zone time like soon.
Extra sleep.
Extra sleep. My sweet pie, tell me everything about you. For how long have you been doing yoga? What is your journey about yoga? Why yoga transformed your life? So tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I've been teaching yoga for 20 years, which is half of my lifetime.
20 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you look like you're 20. I mean, hello.
Thank you. Yoga came into my life because my mother started practicing yoga. She was going through some health issues with cancer, breast cancer. She's a survivor. And part of her healing journey was practicing yoga. So she taught me how to practice yoga. She started teaching yoga. My dad owned a gym in the town I lived in.
So your mom is also a yoga instructor? It is.
Yeah, my mom is a yoga instructor. My dad is a personal trainer, physical therapist. We are athletic people.
You should bring your mama to the event.
I'm going to ask her to come for sure. Yes. She's 71 now. She just came on my yoga retreat in Mexico, and she's still doing headstands.
get out of here. I can't do a headstand. It's like,
Not a lot of
wow.
people can. Yeah, not a lot of people can. So my mom taught me yoga, and then my dad gave me a place to teach, essentially. My parents really supported me on my alternative path. I was always a very spiritual child, and also very athletic. And so for me, yoga was this merging of those two worlds. It's a physio-spiritual activity. So we get in touch with spirit, not just the booty. You know what I mean?
Yes. So it's like the thing that will treat you inside and out. Is the whole full package of everything. That is phenomenal. I'm so stunned to hear that your mom is still like being able to hold like being upside down. It's just amazing. So yoga is probably something for your lifetime, right? It can
yoga is for the lifetime, and that's what's so meaningful to me. I have students that are in there. Usually people brag about their age when you get pretty high up there. So usually people like to tell me when they're in their 75, almost 80. So people love to say, oh, I'm going to be 80 because they're still up.
Yes, they shouldn't be proud, right? I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
It's how many people are out there that is 80, 90s and is still like, doing workouts and being active and don't need any help. It's amazing. We hope that more and more people that's gonna just like ripple out to the world, like, hey, keep doing your activities every day is a healthy way to live, right?
Yes, not only for health and happiness, but for the simple things like, can you tie your shoes?
Yes.
Can you put your socks on 1 foot at a time?
That's right. Can you keep your balance, right? Because this age, you just make sure that keeping your balance is a big step forward.
Yep, and getting from the standing position to the ground. We take that for granted right now, but one day it's going to be difficult. So yeah, yoga is for everybody, every age, and you can start at any time.
Yes, I agree with you. What is your favorite yoga pose?
I mean, my first instinct is to say just a forward fold, a standing forward fold, but I'm a really introverted person. So my favorite poses right now, after pushing myself out of my comfort zone, are back bends. Opening the heart, being in a wheel with the arms behind your head. And then there's all types of little back bends, like just putting a pillow under your chest, laying on a pillow. Anything that opens your heart will help you open your mind and your personality.
So open your heart and open mind. Now I've seen you doing amazing ones that you go like it just fall, and I was like, how does she do that? So training. So what would you do? You do usually like you have it to hold the wall and go slowly. Do you put something underneath? So I was like, I'm gonna break my bone.
So you start really slowly. You start on the floor with just pushing up, and then yes, what you described, it's a bar. It looks like a ladder on the wall. And so you stand and you start practicing reaching that ladder behind you and then coming back in. And eventually, after a long time, you can reach down to the floor. So the next step, once you stand up and back bend down to the floor, is to have enough power in your legs to be able to stand up again. And I'm not
you're not kidding. This is hardcore. That is like how long?
People don't realize, but back bending and trying to stand up from back bending, that's core. That is deep core work. So even if you're not a real big back bender, just leaning back and coming forward, you're using your core muscles in a really, really cool way.
Oh my! For how long have you been doing this one?
I practice in a mellow way. I'm a California girl. I'm really easygoing. I don't worry about trying to get better at anything. I just practice. So
practice makes you better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Practice makes you better.
So maybe 2 years ago, I said, this year I'm going to learn to do drop backs, and it took me maybe the whole year to get really comfortable with it. But now, like when I started doing that little process, I shared it, and my dad asked, "Why are you doing that? And when are you going to stop?" And I said, "Because I'm trying to open my heart, and I'm never going to stop."
Yes.
So once you learn that skill, you just keep going with it.
Yeah. So can you even progress more then after that?
Absolutely. Check out Instagram. There's yogis everywhere that are doing incredible things. So certain people can reach back and grab their heels.
What?
Yeah. So there's never any end. This is what's cool about yoga. There's a beginning.
Yeah.
Like you can learn to do yoga today. I can teach you today, but there's no end to yoga.
Wow. So let's get to that idea of beginning today. So what are your tips for a beginner, a person like, I don't know, who feel a little bit intimidated about yoga, not sure if it's for them, would they give a try? So what it would be like, little your healthy tips and how they can start doing and practicing yoga?
Well, that's a great question. First, there's so many different types of yoga. So let's say you're a really active physical person and your thought is, I think yoga might be boring. You need to get yourself to an Ashtanga class, to a Vinyasa class. You're going to sweat, you're going to burn, you're going to shake, you're going to come out like, wow, that was amazing. Let's say you're the type of person that is exhausted. Your job is really challenging. You have a lot of stress. Then you need to find a restorative yoga class, right? Where you go and you lay on pillows. You let somebody place their hands on your shoulders. And then there's everything in between. For somebody trying to start yoga, I would say, look for a class that says beginners or beginner friendly. Sometimes when you see a yoga class that says all level, you can come in as a beginner and be very intimidated. So I would definitely ask the yoga studio advice. Like, how should I start? Okay. If you're really nervous, get a one-on-one. Try just personal one-on-one. You don't even need an hour. Do 30 minutes. Tell your teacher what you're interested in. Is it flexibility, strength, balance, calm, meditation, weight loss, weight gain, whatever it is, and then they can work with you in that realm, so it feels personal.
That's good. Our beautiful chef here, Flavinha, is just saying that like she really wants to start yoga. So that is a good way she can start using these tips, like maybe go to a local yoga studio and check it out if they can, give her some ideas, or you can go private and have, someone help you one-to-one.
There's online resources now, so many online resources, so you can be in the comfort of your own home. But yoga is not complicated, especially for a chef. What you need to do every day is just stand and forward fold. Grab your elbows. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders.
So you go full on just to relax the entire body, standing up and.
Yeah. Anybody in the professions that are constantly standing, just forward fold and stretch those hips. Do a figure 4 in your chair. Lean forward. Yoga doesn't need to be an hour-long class. It could be you reaching your arms up like right now, or interlacing your fingers, taking a deep breath in, lifting up for one yoga moment.
Oh, I love it, those yogas. I do this one a lot. I was like, I just want to have a good deep breath while I'm stretching, and I can feel like all the tension and everything is just like melting away.
Absolutely. There's a saying in yoga, open armpits, happy life.
Oh, that sounds like, yay! We keep our armpits open now. From now on.
So if you spend too much time with your armpits closed, it reflects your mood. So open arms.
Yeah, I like that. Open your hearts, open your armpit, and you're ready for the day. I love it. And how do we incorporate mindfulness into your yoga practices? And why do you think that's quite important?
Well, yoga is mindfulness. And I see a question from our chef here. Arthritis, it doesn't, wherever you have it, yes, we can work all around it. My mom, I just spoke of, 71, has arthritis in both of her knees, had a hip replacement, and is still practicing yoga. So as long as you express what is in pain, we work around that pain. Yes. Yoga is good for pain, by the way, mindful moments, because it helps us be present with our breath. It helps us come out of the mind whirling. We call it the swirlings of the mind. And when you're standing on, let's say, one leg with your arms at the sky, and I'm asking you to breathe slow and steady through your nose, there's not a lot of time to think about your anxiety. Right, so yoga gets us moving slowly. And meditation, it gets this lofty wrap. Meditation is just being where you are, as you are
in that moment. In that moment. Yeah, I keep saying, like, my husband, I don't know how to meditate because meditate, my brain is always constantly telling me, I was like, okay, you can acknowledge that and try to come back your focus to your breathing. You know, you have many ways people meditate in different ways. So, you know, you're not stop your thinking. You're just focusing that thought in your breathing.
You're
right?
precisely correct. It's like when people say, oh, my thoughts, they just kept going. It's like, well, that was your meditation. That was you listening to yourself. You need to sit and listen to your thoughts. And then you're going to have days where you don't have thoughts, and you'll enjoy those moments.
Yes.
But it's not fighting against the reality. Yeah, so mindfulness is meditation from the rules. Like the first rule of yoga is not to harm anybody else. We talk about cleanliness, showing up clean to our practice.
What would that be? Showing up clean to the practice.
Yeah.
So what that means?
There are rules in yoga. The yoga is based on 8 steps. So asana, what we do at the retreat, the movement, that's the 3rd step. There's 8 whole steps to the program, and you just keep going through the steps. So the first step are called restraints. These are things like a seatbelt we put on to stop ourselves from doing anything that would harm the world. The second one are actions. So one of the actions is cleanliness, which means for other people, different things, right? Obviously, being clean could mean you take a shower. Hi, Trinity. For me, cleanliness, because I teach a lot, it means I always brush my teeth before a class. So whatever it means to you personally, that's how you ascribe it into your life. So you might say, oh, I have to put in dry shampoo, make sure my hair is clean, or that I've washed my hands. Your feet are clean, you know, you're barefoot. You want to have a cleanliness too that goes beyond just what we think of showering. What did you eat today? Are you clean?
I see. Yeah, so eat clean or eat not clean. And what is usually the most common mistakes that yogis usually, you know, do, and how can they improve those mistakes? Because I'm sure, you know, a lot of people out there, it's, you know, is thinking they're doing the right thing, and, you know, actually they are kind of harming themselves.
Yeah, I would say the biggest mistake people can make is doing a repetition of a certain pose over and over again without doing it correctly. And that pose is plank and chaturanga. So that is when you hold yourself in a plank and you slowly lower yourself to the ground. Yoga, in most classes, you'll do one pose, one time. With a chaturanga, you'll do a chaturanga maybe up to 10, 15, 20 times. So if you have incorrect alignment, you could potentially be hurting yourself. Yeah. So it's nice to check in with alignment, and then to not have over ego. To start by taking your knees down. You don't have to be the strongest in the room. And that's the other thing I see with students when they make mistakes. It's because they push too hard to advance too fast. Yoga is, I always tell people, I don't know if I can cuss, take a half bootied attitude. Because that's a way to keep a practice forever, right? Yes. 20 years, 25 years for me of a yoga practice is not me pushing every day.
Yeah, it's not a competition, right? It's just like enjoy your time in your space. I keep saying, it's like, even when people ask me about the event, but people are going to be watching, I'm like, no, we'll not. No one is going to be watching you. Of course, if you are doing something that is incorrect and you might, you know, harm your body, then we'll come and adjust you. But no one is really, you know, trying to compete, looking at you. And no, that is your time, right? This is the time that you just...
our bodies are our temples, and everybody's experience is different. And I tell people, if you want a long-term practice, you have to show up when you're not motivated to.
Yes.
That means you show up unmotivated. I always tell people, like, let's say you're in a bad mood. Be in a bad mood at yoga.
Or you're tired and you needed to go.
Be tired at yoga. Yes. You can go into a yoga class and lay on the ground if you need that space away from your children or away from your house.
Yes.
And there's classes, of course, that are there to nourish you, like restorative yoga, yin yoga, anything soft and gentle.
Yeah, I hear you, because often, like today, I went to the gym and I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of work and a lot of things in my mind. And I was like, I'm going to go for 30 minutes. It's nothing. It's going to be like 2 machines and I'm out of there. And I was like, I'm going. I don't feel like going, but I'm going. I haven't not gone, the whole week, and last week I didn't go. So you're forcing yourself a little bit just to get that out of your system. It's like, okay, I did something for myself, right?
Absolutely.
Even though I didn't want to do, but I feel good afterwards. Like I did something for myself.
It works, yeah. It helps with your self-esteem. To have good self-esteem, you have to do esteemable acts. So, getting yourself to the gym, doing something that's a little out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah. So I know that yoga does help, balance all your anxiety and your stress. But have you had this experience as well personally? Like, have you ever been like anxious about something and you decided to practice yoga, and yoga was the thing that helped you?
Yes, I know we don't have forever on this subject, but I grew up having acute chronic depression. It's a diagnosis and a label that I've had throughout my life. I can tell you right now, everything changes, but I've never felt more clear-headed, more positive, and more happy in my life. But I struggled deeply as a teenager, and that's what brought me to yoga. A lot of people talk about how talk therapy doesn't maybe work for them, and that was my experience. And so what I found was yoga was my therapy. Instead of using my words to help open my closed, scared, lonely heart, I used movement.
Yeah.
So then I had the opportunity in my 30s to really take time for my mental health, and I went through different therapies that essentially all came down to mindfulness and yoga. So what I learned through that is I've got the right stuff. I just have to apply it.
Yes.
So
you being in the path, so now you're able even to help others to do the same.
Yes. So this is why I am a yoga teacher, because after the first time really experiencing yoga, I felt, man, if that can make me feel so much better, me, like this anxious, sad, generally, and the reason I'm a sad person, or I can be a sad person, is because the state of the world is heavy, and I'm an empath. I feel for everybody. I feel for everyone. And so when I teach someone yoga, I want them to feel better. Maybe
feel lighter.
Great, but then you do yoga and you're like, I feel even better.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then yoga for depression, anytime you're moving your body, it's really working with your brain. And part of depression is your brain slows down and atrophies. And part of yoga is building these different neural pathways through balancing and challenging yourselves and doing weird things like crossing your arms.
Yes. I remember during the COVID period, we were not able to get it out of the house, basically, right? And not going anywhere, doing anything. So I have a friend who is a yoga instructor in UK, and she kindly enough, she helped tons of people because she helped me a lot. She would go on live to teach people yoga at home. So, you would have this break. So she would do, I think she did it like every day for like a year and a half. Like, she's like, I'm doing this because we can't do anything. And, I feel it, and I know people feel it, and it's a way to release the stress, because it's depressive the way we, you're living, no friends, no one. So it was so helpful for me, especially. I was like, oh, that was the best time, like being just able to do yoga while I was in the house constantly with the family, full on. It was so helpful. So good
for mental health. It's just, honestly,
it's phenomenal. And if people, like, I know sometimes you don't have your stretch, your body's not used to stretch a lot, and we can use some props while we're doing yoga. How can you incorporate your props? How you use them? I mean, like, which ones should we start with?
Okay, so I love yoga blocks. They are not just for beginner yoga students. If you are a yogi and you're trying to get better at yoga and do things that you think might be out of your range, like jumping to the top of your mat, something like that, grab yoga blocks. So I use them for every class I teach, whether it's beginner's class to advanced class. You can use yoga blocks. Essentially, they're to lengthen your arms. So let's say you can't touch your toes, no problem. Grab your yoga blocks. Same with triangle. Can't bring your hand to the ground, you use a yoga block. Then, when you start to learn really acrobatic stuff, you use your blocks for core work. You push into them and you levitate and lift off the ground. Yeah.
They're awesome. I have a couple here. They're gonna try.
Yeah. So
Yes.
next time you get on the ground with your blocks, I want you to put them, you're crossing your legs. I want you to put them towards your knees. And then you're going to use your back muscles. Round forward, exhale, push, straighten your arms. You can keep your feet on the ground, but try to lift your hips up.
Oh.
And then keep practicing it and see if you can get up and come down.
Okay, I will try that.
Okay.
I'm
I love that.
definitely gonna try that. Oh my gosh. Okay, and besides yoga, what else do you do to practice wellness?
Oh, geez. I feel like my life is wellness because of my mental health history. I have to live in a very mindful way. So I start every single day with hot lemon water, and that kind of starts me off. Sometimes I'll have a green tea, but I found that caffeine's not important because if you're tired, you should just be tired, and maybe take a nap. And then your stomach gets back in order.
Okay.
That's pretty wild. And then I believe that successful people journal and write plans for their day. So I start with 5 things I'm grateful for. I manifest 5 things, which if you manifest and have a manifestation practice, you're going to watch yourself live those things out. And it's so cool if you keep practicing it. And then I have
How long should we start practicing? For how long?
writing.
Yeah, practicing, your wellness. So writing, you do a little few phrases. How do you do that?
So it takes like 10 minutes maximum in the morning just to kind of jot it down. And then besides that gratitude, manifestations, I write 3 things that I have to do. And these are things not that you always do, like not dishes, walk your dog, because you're going to do that anyway. But 3 things you need to do in your day. Call your clients, plan meeting, whatever it is. And then you have to balance this out with 3 pleasures.
Oh.
I learned this from a marriage book. It's about the woman making sure she is relaxed instead of just go, 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 go. So 3 things throughout the day that are pleasurable.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't make it through this list every day, but if I take time.
If you make one pleasurable thing, is already winning.
Yeah, it is. So it's simple. Like if you don't have time, have a cup of tea or something, or have a nice dark chocolate. I like to just take time to literally, I write on my list, go lay in your hammock. And I'll lay in my hammock for like a minute or 2, and I'm so proud of myself, and it just makes the rest of my day go well. Yeah, so mindfulness all throughout the day.
I love that. And how can you recommend it to make like your house, maybe a little corner of your house, more inspiring for you to practice yoga?
Well, one thing that's important is to pick the same place in your house. So there's this saying in yoga, the same place, the same time, the same practice, different every time, right? So you control the things of like the place. So you have one place where you put your mat. If you don't have a mat, no big deal. You don't need anything for yoga. If you have a mat, great. But cleanliness is key. You want to make sure that there is a clean floor, because once you get down on the floor, you're going to be like, my floor's dirty.
Yeah, you don't want to worry about your floor for sure.
No,
You just want to be
cleanliness,
there.
do a little vacuum. Most yoga studios do a sweep before and after classes. It's more of an energetic thing than anything. So make sure it's clean. And then having something of devotion. So everybody's different. Devotion to you could be a picture of your grandfather. It could be a picture of the deity of, a higher power, of Jesus. It could be
Whatever your God is or your devotion.
Yeah, your devotion. And maybe it's like a crystal that brings you good feeling or energy. And maybe it's just a rock you found on the ground. But something to create an altar. Could be just one thing, but having a place of an altar creates a ceremony and a ritual. So it's not just a yoga practice, now it's your ritual.
I see. I like that idea too. So I'm gonna make sure I will create a little space that I'm always there in that. Because usually I do like a little bit here in the bedroom, a little bit there. Like when I have whatever I am, like yeah, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. So I will make sure that.
Place. Yeah, because then all your energy is gonna stack into that place, and it's gonna call you to it. It's gonna be more comfortable.
That is phenomenal. I like that idea. Okay, I'm gonna write down all of those. Following your instruction for sure. So tell me now, before we have to go soon, but before you go, tell me your experience in our last Boom Boom Wellness event, and what is expectations for the next one?
Okay, so it was the first time last time, or it's the first event, and so my expectations were zero. I just really, really enjoyed the energy of meeting you and the ladies that you brought together. I was working my butt off last year, so I didn't carve out the whole day. I only carved out the workout with Tati in the morning and then my class, and then I just jammed to my next thing, which is not happening this year.
Yay! So you stay with the very end. I love it.
Because it was so beautiful, and first of all, I'm an introvert and I am not a dancer, and it started off with music and dancing, and I was like, okay, and just the energy got me out of my little stiff person thing. So, the vibes were really high. The women were so beautiful and so friendly. Like, I love when women get together that all, like, want to work out. Yes. Or if they don't want to work out, they're, like, cheering you on. You know what I mean?
I love this, too. That is why, like, I keep saying there is no... I heard a lot of the women saying, like, oh, I love this. It was no pressure. It was just so much fun. And I think that's the mix of having, a little bit of Latino community, the Brazilians with the Americans, because then we can mix and have all that beautiful energy just flourishing, blooming there. And I was just...
I will say, yeah, Brazilian women, you said it last year, Brazilian women are confident, and that is contagious. It is so contagious. And it's not like, I'm confident because I'm a beautiful mom.
No.
I'm confident because I'm happy from the within. Yes. And I have all these female connections, and like when we're together, we all feel even better. So I love Tati's workout. I actually started like working out more after that, working on my bum. Oh. I swear the pictures will be remarkable.
I love it.
I'm working on my Brazilian bum, so I have seen a little gain, which is great.
Great. So Tati's gonna be so proud of you, girl. She's gonna say, hey.
I like kick up in yoga. I make people do that.
I'm gonna bring her next, and I'm gonna mention. Look, Nicolle said that she's working on her butt because of you. She knows the exercise.
Totally, yeah. And then the yoga was so beautiful. Like the setting was great, but it was cool. Like the women all set up all around, so I didn't feel like I was standing on a stage in front of a big class.
Yes.
It really felt like here's this. It felt like retreat, like a retreat, like we're all around this beautiful, spacious outdoor area, and we're all practicing in ways that are supportive to what we are and who we are. So that was great. And then afterward, my biggest thing, because I'm a Napa Valley girl, I love food. I love, love, love food. And the catering was like so delicious, but gorgeous. It was a feast of the eyes. Yes. And it felt really
inviting. It was nourishing. I could say, but nourished everything. It nourished you inside, outside your view. Because I have to say, cheese and platters are amazing, and they always cater like this beautiful, amazing tables. And the food is delicious. Nourishing. I mean, even the Ligia, who is a nutritionist, a professional nutritionist, like, oh my gosh, I don't think like if I could have put my dream table ready, that would be it. I was like, oh, I'm so proud.
Yeah, it had a little of everything, but in that kind of maybe Mediterranean, a little lightness.
Yes.
And then I guess the other thing that was really impressive to me were the vendors. I didn't expect that vision, but there were so many, and I can't wait to get like a massage or whatever they're doing with their little things.
Yes, they were amazing. This year, I think you're gonna have one especially that you're gonna love. You have a lady who comes. She's gonna have a jewelry, but her jewelry is all these beautiful stones, natural stones. So amethyst, but the jewelry is so intricate and beautiful. So I was like, oh, this is totally Nicolle. She's gonna fall in love with this when she sees it. It's just gonna be amazing.
Well, I will budget.
Yes, you should come. Well, I'm sure you can sort it out for that, but you should come and say, yeah, I know I'm gonna have some things that are gonna love it this year.
Good. I am so excited. I am so appreciative that you are having me back again. I had the best time. And
you're part of the team, girl. Now you must come. We're gonna try to keep it this every 6 months. I don't know if I will be able to keep it up, but I promise at least once a year. It's crazy how you blink.
Was this last year?
Yes. Wow. Can you believe it? It's like 6 months ago. You just blink and the time is here again. I was like, oh my gosh. But I just love the energy, the female energy, and how amazing it is. It brings me so much pleasure to have you guys all, and would not be possible without you all. Like the professionals is who actually makes the event, and everybody has so much fun. Right, Samia? Samia is there, so like, I can't wait for the next one. Yes. And Flavinha is going to be there, I think, this year as well. She missed it last year, but hopefully this year she will be there. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be so exciting. I'm so happy to have you. And please come, right? May 3rd in Sonoma County. We're going to have this amazing oasis place. And we're going to treat ourselves to take care of us, women.
Yes. And then, it lasts. It's one day, but it lasts. Obviously, it's lasted through the year because I'm still feeling the vibes.
Yes, it is. I know. We still feel like, oh, it was yesterday, basically. But it's insane. Yes, so it's going to be amazing. The tickets are ready for sale. We have early birds. And, we just go on our website and you can get it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I can't wait to see you all there. Me too. I can't wait to see you.
Me too. Can give you big hugs. Love you, girl. Thank you, guys. Love you. Thank you, Paul. See you there. Bye.
Bye.
Let me see something. I don't know how to end this. I'm not a tech person, so every time I got it. I found it. Okay. Bye. Bye, guys. Sorry, there you go.